Greetings, I'm Caffeine Ridge and I'm back with a Sunday Sampler. This week we're going to be taking a quick look at Omega Quintet. This is a JRPG visual novel hybrid, for lack of a better term, developed by Idea Factory and published by Ghostlight, or at least the PC version. This originally came out for PlayStation 4 a couple years ago and made its way to Steam recently, so as per usual, this is a review copy, and I'm going to dive right into the config, because it keeps wanting to boot me to the eye catch mode, the preview, and I don't want to do that. So let's head into here and look at a couple things, because yeah, this actually caught me quite off guard because it's a lot deeper than I expected it to be. And that's a good thing, by the way. I was expecting this to be a pretty shallow, anime pandering game, but it's actually not. And that's possibly my fault because I didn't really pay attention to it when it came out on PlayStation 4 because I'm a PC gamer. I don't care about the PlayStation 4 for the most part. So let's take a look at a couple things here. For one, limited graphics options, which is meh. It's not a huge deal killer because it runs pretty well on my system, and my system is pretty weak, at least in the processor department. So the fact that I'm able to pull 60 FPS most of the time, should tell you that you should be okay on this. I am getting a few frame rate hiccups on initial load in because, it's loading and everything, and on a few of the world areas. And honestly, the world areas aren't pretty enough to really justify that, but it's still in the high 50s, low 50s, high 40s, so it's still perfectly fine. I mean, it's not amazing, but it's okay. I would have liked to see some sort of VSync here because I have been getting a little bit of screen tearing every so often, but oh well. And also, something else that's kind of neat is full remappable buttons, including the controller. Granted, I'm using my PlayStation 4 controller, even though it's showing the Xbox controller. My PC sees my PlayStation 4 controller as an Xbox controller, but the fact that I'm able to fully remap this is very nice. Granted, the keybinds for for the keyboard is, I should say mouse and keyboard, even though it focuses on keyboard controls, is head scratching. It's very odd. So I will say controller recommended. You can play it with a keyboard. Highly suggest going and rebinding a lot of the keys because it uses both hands on the keyboard, which is a little strange, but outside of that, one other thing I wanted to show off is the DLC menu. You're able to fully turn on and off all these at will. It gives, in the base edition, a fair amount of free DLC with extra paid DLC, with each of these be able to be turned on and off at will as well. And you may be seeing some very high numbers on these because some of the paid DLC is hugely pay to cheat. I mean, 300 coins, that's for the game plus and unlock cosmetics and story stuff. I mean, that's not required, but it pretty much gets it all immediately. That is the crafting. So yeah, this is a huge power jump. Granted, the free DLC isn't exactly better because, between the 3 verbatim beginner packs, I mean, you're pretty much set on craftable items for quite a while. That said, you can probably turn most of that off. The verbatim wars is some extra content. That's perfectly fine to leave on. And the Mad Encyclopedia is just extra lore stuff. You could turn that on and off as you wish. If you want to have a little bit more difficulty, I would suggest turning these off because those are all paid to cheat. I left them on because I didn't realize it at the time until I got into the game and I wasn't replaying several hours to be able to turn off the cheats. So let's dive in to the game itself, as it has a little bit of a frame rate and stabilizes. There we go. I am losing a little bit of frame rate to the recording tags, but it's stable enough. Okay, so this is the First Maiden's headquarters, and you can see 3 of the girls with a retired one there. So overall, graphically, it's not bad. It's not amazing. You can see some serious anti-aliasing problems on the floorboard there. If you move it at a certain angle, like right there, some serious jaggies. Granted, this is a couple years old, and it was made. It wasn't quite a launch title for the PlayStation 4, but it was close enough to it that the focus was definitely on the PlayStation 4, getting it out as soon as possible. So I definitely see that in this, and there's a lot of reuse of assets. Let's go into the database, and I'll show you what I mean with the Man Encyclopedia. This is all the monsters. You may notice something here. These are all the common monsters that you'll fight. You may be noticing a slight trend here. Granted, I haven't encountered these yet, but yeah, there is a lot of reskins. There's a lot of reuse of content. And also, whenever you go out into the world itself, you're going to the same areas over and over again, but unlocking extra areas. As you can see in my playtime, by the way, I'm right at the 7-hour mark. And How Long to Beat puts us at about a 40 to 50 hour game. So, far enough in that I'm mostly through the tutorials. It kept throwing tutorials at me. That's why I stopped. Why I stopped doing the Sunday Sampler yesterday. Is that I hit more tutorials, and I wanted to be able to give this game a fair shake. So, these are my 3 girls so far, along with their manager. Kaneko, Oha, Nede, and Talk, which is their sort of manager slash bodyguard. And let's go into some of the combat specifics, and then we'll go fight a bit. I'll show you a little bit of story. There'll be a little bit of spoiler. It's just to really show some of the voice acting, and then we'll continue on. So, there are a fair amount of things to show here. There's skills, which all these are slottable. Which, why am I not able to? Why am I not able to do that? That's odd. I'm not sure why I can't swap out skills right. Oh, there we go. Okay. I was on the wrong menu because this one just shows the skills and shows also distances, which we'll get into that when we're actually fighting because it's a lot easier to explain there. But you're able to remove and swap out skills pretty much at will as long as you're not in active combat. And to do that, you open up the disc, and Kana only has 6 ability points right now, so not a great ability to show this, but you're able to go through and select skills pretty much at will. Granted, like Restore here. Restore requires me to heal, which is up here. So it kind of guides you towards certain directions if you're trying to build for a particular character. Myself, this was more just trying to get through the early portion of the games and trying to sample everything. So I didn't really focus on any particular thing for my girls. As you can see, we went a little bit north and south on this one, and also got an extra slot here. So she's able to get 1 extra slot there. So you can see a slight difference there, and Top will get to in a moment. Along with extra abilities here. And these are built off of their weapons. I know, this is probably very confusing. It's a lot to take in, and they throw a lot of tutorials at you. That's why I wanted time to get a handle on this. As you use various weapons, you gain proficiency, and as you fight, you're able to do more attacks depending on how proficient you are with the weapon you're using. And combine that with the girls' actual abilities, because certain girls are stronger with various elements. Like you'd see, let's go. Kana is weaker with earth attacks, I believe it is, but is normal with all the others. And she has level 3 in fisticuffs. While this one is weaker with water and standard with everything else. But you could also go into their equipment. And actually, all this is cosmetic. So you could change all that as you want. And or I should say the outfit is fully cosmetic. Oh look, I'm going to get banned from YouTube now. But you're able to build extra outfits to be able to swap out these amps, which are ability boosters. So this one's giving extra wind resistance and extra contamination resistance. Not sure what contamination does yet. I'm not that far in. And I could also swap out slates. You know, gain extra divinity, which is extra magic ability. This one's a little bit weaker, but it also reduces my stamina less. This one is actually better overall and slightly recovers health during the active turn. That's something I may want to throw on someone else. And this one increases the skill points. So yeah, it's like I said, there's a lot here. And Tell also is the same way, where he's able to. I actually didn't amp him. I'll have to change that and throw in. He's not able to use these because he's not in active combat. He's sort of a bystander that runs in or is able to add defenses. But you could also team him with a person. In this case, you can see Otoha is kind of being cheered on with him. And as the affection ranking goes up, they're able to get extra abilities based on, or extra boost or extra abilities based on what exactly their ranking is. It's, like I said, there's a lot here. And we haven't even gotten to active combat. Oh. Yeah, like I said, this caught me by surprise because I hadn't really paid attention to this. And then there's customization, which is, yeah, fashion time. You can change the girls how they look, change colors, pop over to the other ones. Unfortunately, I haven't unlocked any of them yet.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And there's a lot of chatter in this game. So, like I said, this is the offices, and you can see some of these icons hanging around, like that is Kana, and those are different events. And I'll play through part of one for you to just show you what it is, but then I'll skip it because it's visual novel style. Let's go up to this one. Some of these are fully voiced. The main story is pretty much all fully voiced. But these extra events are not. But these also sometimes give extra affection. So you can see this one is not fully voiced. But you can see what I mean by a visual novel or JRPG hybrid of this, because all the cutscenes in the game are visual novel styled, where they'll cut away to wacky look or have this sort of visual novel style, which kind of works actually, because yeah, it's able to quickly go through the story without bogging itself down with a lot of unnecessary cutscenes. And this feels like sort of a time-saving maneuver as well, because like I said, this was released not too long after the PlayStation 4 release, so I imagine this, along with the recolors of all the enemies, is probably due to that. Oh, well, someone's getting fresh. Let's just go ahead and skip this. I mean, you're able to fully skip these if you want, and that gives a little bit of extra affection. So let's go into combat, I think. I don't want to spend too long on this because, yeah, we'll go into the training center. There's also, well, actually, I should show you this as well. This is how the game plays out, where you go out, do missions, come back to here, and turn them in. So,
Let's do our best.
so like right here is all the ones I've done, and this is what I'm being requested to do, which is there is a hunt request for Amrit in the arid wastes. It appears to be rampaging near the crossroads at the entrance, so we'll accept that.
Is that all? Then let's go.
And a lot of the game is doing these missions and then coming back and story plays out, or story plays out during the missions. Which, this is a game that it's definitely for a very specific audience. If you're not into JRPG, or if you're not into JRPG, or if you absolutely hate visual novel, well, good luck with this. If you don't like Japanese culture, well, for one, you probably shouldn't be playing a JRPG in the first place, but this has a lot of roots in the Japanese idol fandom. So there's a lot of in-jokes, there's a lot of focus on how idols work and how the idols are perceived in Japanese culture, which is not a bad thing, but may be missing out on the Western audience because it's not really a thing here. There's a certain way idols are viewed in Japan that to an outsider is just strange. Which I don't want to say too much more on how it's handled in the game itself because spoilers. Let's see. Let's go ahead and look at the crafting real quick. You can see the results of all the free DLC over there on the right. That's all the various stuff that the things are made out of. And this is essentially your shop. I'm not able to make that right out. I have to have blue crust, which is a rare drop from enemies, but I'm able to freely make pretty much anything I want. Which, I'm not sure how I feel about that with the free DLC. That's why I suggested maybe you want to turn that off. And you can also make different outfits. So, and the outfits have a durability on them. So, if you take too much damage, they'll start to break down. Which, that's why you have the underwear. I mean, to be perfectly frank. But all of this is cosmetic. You know, and you could change how the girls look. But having the various outfits, like you'd see that one. That one's.
I really liked this outfit. That's good. I couldn't wear it like it was before.
And you can also boost up the strength, which also adds more amp slots. But the extra benefit of this is if you build extra outfits on top of just spreading out the damage, is that you could add extra amp slots and extra amps and swap these out in combat to have various effects or to try to resist various effects. So there is a bit of strategy here as well, if you want to min-max especially. You can see the amp set as well here, where I can't actually put one on tout. That's odd. It looked like I could, but oh well, let's go ahead and just order an outfit. Huh, I actually can't. Strange. Oh well.
Tunnel ready? Want to go somewhere else?
Maybe it's eventually I'll get more outfits. I don't know. I do that. I have the ability to make more outfits. So we're going to head outside. There's going to be a cutscene here, and what I'll do is I'll let it play for a little bit, just so you can hear the voice acting. Then we'll skip it to get to the world map. So.
I have returned. You really put your back into it. As expected, you were fast today, too.
Oh no, my back is fine.
It's a figure of speech? Never mind.
You can see how the models are a little odd as well.
Across the way?
Her bitter expression was incredible. I wish.
Alright, let's skip this. You can see how the models are. Yeah, there is a little bit of uncanny valley there where the mouth movements are just a little odd, but overall it's okay. And where it feels like it's a little bit of a, well, kind of a time-saving maneuver. Overall, it's not bad. It's something that you get used to. At first, it was very odd, but I've gotten used to it after about 7 hours. So let's head to the town map, because this is sort of a map in the map. And you get additional quests here, so I could accept that and accept this one. Now, these are time limited, so I have to be very careful about letting these run out. And I don't know what the rewards are until I actually complete them. So it's something to keep an eye on, because these also give extra abilities. These give a lot of experience that allows for level ups, and it's generally a good idea to go out of your way to do these, and these are usually along the path that you have to do anyway. Like this one, here, I believe it's having me go to the area that I'm planning on anyway. So let's head to the arid waste. And some of these areas have more than one entrance. Like this one, I eventually unlocked a second entrance. But we'll pop our head in here.
Are we going somewhere?
With everything load in, there we go. And this is the world map where we'll get into a little bit of combat. And this is probably my biggest complaint, is that wandering around the local map, or whatever you want to call this, the girls fucking chatter like crazy. I don't know why they chatter so much. Yo,
I wonder if there's anything around here.
oh, shut the fuck up. I mean, granted, I think if I could toggle it and config with the discovery. Actually, I can't do it here. I have to go back to the main. No. And we could turn that up. Well, let's leave that on for one fight so you can see. So, no random encounters. Instead, all the monsters are on the map. You can see 2 right there. And it's, yeah, I attack them or they attack me. And there's also the ability to use a camo blur to avoid combat altogether for a short amount of time if you just want to go deeper in. And, yeah, skip the opening area, for example, because this game reuses a lot of assets. I already showed how the game reuses a lot of the enemy assets, but it reuses the world assets as well. Where, over the course of the 7 hours I've played, I've had to go...
Staying here?
Until we're done. We had to go to the same area, I would say 4 or 5 times. Let's just go to here so we don't have her chattering the entire time. But every time I went back, it unlocked a new small section, but I had to go through the previous section to get to it until I unlocked the secondary entrance, which took a while. And it's just pure gating, which was very annoying to me. It's not a deal killer, but it is something that felt like they were well, doling out the content at a snail's pace at times. So let's get into a fight here. Oh,
Even the enemy is charmed by the First Maiden's beauty.
okay, so in this world, oh, let's go to the overall combat. In this world, First Maidens are broadcast, and their powers are derived a lot from just how much people cheer for them, their pure popularity. Why does it work that way? Fuck if I know. They say literally we don't exactly know how it works. It's just the way it's always been. So yeah. And it's being live broadcast to boost their popularity, and there's a couple of things to do with that. If you defeat monsters stylishly, you get an experience bonus. But you could also flow combat together better with various elements to get extra damage. And sometimes those are exclusive to one another. So you can see the voltage gauge there in the bottom right. As that gets amped up, that gives an extra bonus towards the end of combat to the pure to the pure experience that I get. And there's also the time bar on the right, which is the order. So, Kana goes first, then Oha, and then Nede, and then, well, depending on how the actions they take, they may get another combat turn in before the monsters attack, because I got the drop on them. So, you can see this is a little odd, isn't it? There's colors here. What's the colors mean? Well, the colors mean the effectiveness of the move. Kana is a short-range combatant, so this screen now makes a little bit more sense, doesn't it? Where instead of having her back here, I want to move her up. So now, when she fights, she gets a damage bonus. And I'm purposely kept her back. I could set this or outside of combat beforehand and have it sort of default. But a lot of the game's min-maxing will be around both moving characters around and also knocking back monsters. So let's do that. Or we could also go into our abilities. So I didn't set up my girls very intelligently because I didn't understand the systems when I was unlocking skills. You have follow abilities, which, for example, Razor Edge here. If I use another Earth ability, the second Earth ability gets a slight damage bonus. But if I follow it up with, let's say, Shield, that has a link bonus. So it will give extra power to the voltage meter, which gives extra experience at the end. And then there's chain attacks, which eventually you could learn, but these require leveling up various weapons to gain the extra skills. So can't do that yet. So well, I can't exactly do that because, well, once again, I didn't plan this out properly because I didn't understand the systems. If I was doing this, playing this hardcore, I'd probably restart at this point because I didn't understand this, which may or may not be a detriment. There is a Game Plus mode for this, so we'll just do 2 attacks.
What should I do?
And you can also see what the monsters are attacking. So you can see one is attacking, I believe, Ota, and the other one is attacking Kana. Well, if you're able to break their shields, the blue bar, it causes them to reconsider their attack, which could force them to do something different. It's an interesting system. There's a lot of complexity into this. And Oha, it also has the manager paired with her, so she gets an extra bonus, and she also can call him in to defend her or attack with her. So we'll do that. Let's see. How about we do that? That'll attack both of them and then incinerate.
What about now?
And here comes Top to fight as well.
I'll go too.
And he has a limited amount of abilities, or a limited amount of time, so he could attack in a time.
Oh no, it's my turn.
But you can see he has 14 times left. So outside of major bosses, that's plenty for this. Don't really have to save those. So let's set her up. She is a sniper, so we want to move her back. And you can see now she's getting a damage bonus on that one and that one. And we'll go for that one.
My turn. Now all that's left is to finish them off.
Yeah, we'll definitely turn off that live voice here in just a moment. But there's, like I said, a lot of complexity here that I wasn't expecting. So we'll just...
I need to calm down.
Okay, we'll go for this and go for the kill. Actually, let's go for... Well, we don't have to go for that. We'll just go for 3 attacks because she got the kill on the last one. She gets 1 extra bonus attack next time she attacks.
I'll shoot. Disappear. The enemy didn't even know what hit them.
And you can see the bonuses here. Got a 6% bonus, which isn't amazing. But combos and linkings and simultaneous defeats. Basically, style allows you to level up faster. There's our level up, some extra stuff. Now let's go in and turn off that voice because, that would get annoying pretty quickly. Oh, it would be under System 1. But that is pretty much the game, to be perfectly honest. Let's turn off Discovery Voice as well. Oh.
Whoa, this looks like our chance.
Thankfully, we don't have the chattering out now. But yeah, it's surprisingly in-depth. There's a lot here that I wasn't expecting. I was expecting dumb anime game, not actually very competent JRPG. Which sounds like I'm, damning with faint praise, but I'm not. I'm actually really impressed with this. Granted, it definitely isn't for everyone. There's a serious culture shock going into this because of just how different the game is. But it is. If you could get past the theme or appreciate the theme, I think you would really enjoy it.
Here I go. Ha!
Have him go in.
Take this.
Oh no, it's my turn.
We'll move her back. Should probably set that up, but oh well. Okay, that she wouldn't kill it on the first one. There we go. Oh, and there's also flash effects. You can see at the right-hand side various icons like, well, I just got a heal, and then Oha is also going to get a heal next time around. So there's a lot to take in here.
It's my turn.
What about now? Ha!
But yeah, very impressed.
What should I do?
Overall, if...
I need to break their guard. I'm sorry. It's
She really likes her gun, possibly a little bit too much. Granted, Japan, so it's viewed a little oddly. But hopefully I explained combat well enough, because there is a lot there, and you learn it all over like 30 different tutorials. It slowly teaches you. But yeah, if you have any feedback, leave it in the comments down below. Or if you don't really have anything to say, but want to let me know that you've enjoyed or hated this, hit the appropriate buttons and subscribe if you see more of the Sunday Sampler. Oh, I never said the price of this. This is actually not that expensive. It is $29.99. It's 40% off till January 4th, bringing the price down to $17.99, which for a very competent JRPG isn't bad. But yeah, very, very surprising and a lot to take in. I'm not sure how the story is going to play out overall, because it's giving this grim, dark world, and then they never really tackle the themes. It's just magical girls. Yeah. If you want cute girls singing in, well, there has actually been a lot of singing. But if you want cute girls being the ever-living crap out of monsters, well, this is the game for you. But yeah, I think we are done here, as always. Well, thank you for watching. I already said leave feedback down below. Well, see you next time with more of the Sunday Sampler.